Ladies and gentlemen, this is not just a story. This is not just history. This is the greatest divine intervention in the affairs of humanity. It is the story of love, the story of redemption, the story of a king who died not just to save you from hell, but to restore a kingdom that was lost. We are standing on holy ground today, looking at the cross not as a symbol of pain, but as a symbol of purpose. Let's walk through the final sermon, preached not from a pulpit, but from a cross. The 7 last words of Jesus Christ. 1. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Luke 23 verse 34. The first words of a dying king were not words of judgment, not words of revenge, but words of intercession. Father, forgive them. Even in agony, Jesus was fulfilling purpose. He was not dying as a victim. He was offering himself as a sacrifice. Because redemption starts with forgiveness. Forgiveness is not an emotion. It is a decision. It is the doorway to healing. And Jesus opened that door, not just for them, but for you. He didn't wait for them to say sorry. He released them before they understood what they did. Why? Because if you don't forgive, you delay your own resurrection. 2. Truly, I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise. Luke 23 verse 43. Now a dying thief cries out, no baptism, no ceremony, just faith. Jesus didn't say, after you fix your life. He said, today. This is the scandal of grace, that no matter how broken you are, no matter how far you've gone, if you turn to Him, He'll meet you in that moment. Redemption is not for the religious. It's for the repentant. And that means there is hope for you. Yes, you. Even now. 3. Woman, behold your son. Behold your mother. John 19 verses 26 to 27. In pain, Jesus remembers his responsibility. At the foot of the cross, he builds a new family. Because redemption is not just spiritual, it is relational. God's kingdom honors connection. Listen carefully. Purpose never ignores people. Even when you're in your darkest hour, God expects you to honor the assignment He gave you. Love is not about convenience, it's about covenant. 4. My God, why have you forsaken me? Matthew 27 verse 46. Here it is, the cry of separation. Jesus, the Son of God, who had never known a moment outside the Father's presence, now feels abandoned. Why? Because He wasn't just dying for sin, He was becoming sin. He became your failure, your shame, your rejection, so you would never have to be separated again. He was forsaken, so you could be accepted. He went through isolation, so you could walk in restoration. This is redemption. 5. I thirst. John 19 verse 28. Now the living water says, I thirst. Why would the one who poured out rivers now ask for a drink? Because he was fully God and fully man. He entered your suffering. He stepped into your weakness. So when you cry out in the midnight hour, you can know He understands. He knows what it's like to be human, to feel pain, to thirst, to be lonely. He did not come to save you from the experience of suffering. He came to redeem you through it. 6. It is finished. John 19 verse 30. This is not a whisper. This is a war cry. It is finished. He didn't say, I'm finished. He said, it is finished. What is it? The plan of redemption. The payment for sin. The curse of the law. The bondage of guilt. The shame of your past. The grip of death. The rule of darkness. It is finished. Which means, you are not fighting for victory. You are walking from it. 7. Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. Luke 23 verse 46. And now, the final act of surrender. Not to the Romans, not to death, not to the grave, but to the Father. He bowed his head and gave up his spirit, because even in death, he was in charge. You see, you're never really surrendered until you've given God what you cannot control. Jesus gave us the blueprint. When you've done your part, commit the outcome to the hands of the Father, because God's hands never drop what's placed in them. The cross is not the end of the story. It was the setup for resurrection. They buried him in a borrowed tomb, but he only needed it for the weekend. On the third day, the grave was empty. Death lost its sting. Sin lost its grip. The devil lost his claim. And now, you and I can stand as sons and daughters of the kingdom, redeemed, restored, resurrected with him. So I declare to you, this Easter, don't just celebrate a risen Savior. Live like a resurrected citizen. You were not just saved from something, you were saved for something. Step out of the tomb. Walk into the light. The King has risen. And because he lives, so can you.
Thank you for watching. If this video inspired you, don't forget to like the video, share it with someone who needs it, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more life-changing teachings from Dr. Myles Munroe.